Okay, so after many failed attempts, I have finally devised a strategy that should be able to beat the boss event every single time without fail, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing for today's video. So I'm just going to get right into it, and I will play out the full run, or maybe I'll cut things out if it gets a little slow, but I'll play out probably the full run. So this is the team that I'm using. You're going to need Chozo, Julius, Itadori, Alucard, and double farms. Some important things to note here. The only must-have units in this little setup of mine are the double farms, Chozo, and Julius. Alucard and Itadori are interchangeable here. If you don't have Alucard, you could probably pull this off with Gojo. Don't quote me on that. I haven't tried it myself, but I will definitely try and put out a guide without Alucard for the people that don't have him, because I know you don't exactly just snap your fingers and get them. But the reason that I have Itadori on my team is just because I am farming the boss kills for him while I'm recording this video. You do need to kill 10 Sukunas with Itadori in order to evolve him into Sukuna. Little spoiler alert for the next video. I will be doing a Sukuna video, but yeah, basically you need you're gonna need like bleed units. That is the name of the game here. Also, first 4 rounds, you're just going to want to greed. Just greed. Keep upgrading your farms up until round 4. Now, on round 5, which is going to come pretty soon, now you're going to want to start placing your Chozos. Going to want to place 4 Chozos and a Julius. A Julius to slow, 4 Chozos to kill these guys real quick. Now, if you're wondering why I placed these guys the way that I did, the placement does seem a little bit off. The reason that I'm doing this, instead of putting them in a more optimal position, like right here where they have the full loop to kill the units, in this boss event, your units will become unsellable. Later down the line, you just can't sell units at all. Right now, I can sell units. But eventually, I don't know if it's one of the boss's passives, or I don't know if it's specific to this game mode, but eventually, you're just not going to be able to sell units. The reason I'm placing these guys here is because this is where they're going to be for the rest of the run. This is the best spot that I have found in order to get as much damage as possible. So that's exactly what we're going to do. After you place the 4 Chozos and you place your Julius, you just max out your farms. Focus farms. You see, by round 8, you should have all 3 of your farms max. Like, no matter if you have Alucard or not, good rule of thumb, by round 8, all of your farms should be max. You're going to want as much money as possible. This boss is not easy. Now, I'll show you what I do next. I put down an Alucard and I, again, place him in a pretty weird spot initially because I know once I fully upgrade him, his range is going to cover all of this, and that's exactly what we want. For now, I'm just going to get him to full AoE. And so far, so good. Now, one thing that I definitely think you have to worry about in this game mode is the boss's abilities. He has 4 abilities: Cleave, Dismantle Rush, Fire Release, blah blah blah. I don't know all of them, but he has abilities and they are pretty darn annoying to deal with. The 2 abilities that you're going to want to disable is 2 and 3. His second and his third ability, like when they're on the numbers, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Disable 2 and 3. If you're asking me why, it's because I was in content creator chat, and I think it was Rexon. He said those are the ones that he disables, and I was wondering why. So I tested it out myself. Those 2 are pretty annoying, and it's good to just not deal with them. I believe one of them just straight up like disables your units for a little bit. He's still going to stun you no matter what you disable, but if you disable 2 and 3, you'll have a little bit of an easier time, so that's what I did. Also, what do I prioritize after I max out my farms? I get myself a max Alucard. Also, I'm going to place my Yuji right about, I think right about here is a pretty good spot. I start upgrading him. Now, Yuji, I think he does extra damage for this game mode because I do not remember him doing almost 30k damage on max normally. And you can only place one of him, so I do think he's buffed for this game mode. Anyways, here is the first boss. He's coming over here. If you're wondering why he gets stunned even though I'm not running any stun units, he has a little yellow health bar below his normal health bar. That is the boss gauge bar. And once you break that, it does temporarily stun the boss for a little bit. Julius is an absolute must-have for this, by the way. Also, I'm going to place one more Julius right there. And I'm going to put him to focus on bosses. As I was saying, Julius is an absolute must-have unit for this. Julius and Alucard are the two non-negotiable units here that you absolutely need no matter what. Reason being, you need a bleed unit. Like, that is just, like, required. All the enemies. Also, after I place my two Juliuses, my Chozos and everything, I'm going to start maxing out my second Alucard. I want to make sure you have both your Alucards to full AoE, because that makes clearing out the enemies a lot easier. As you can see, I can select an attack to disable. I always disable Dismantle Slam and Cleaving Dash. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to start it off with Dismantle Slam. I don't know exactly what each of the attacks do, but in my runs, when I disable those two, I win. So I think I'm going to stick to that. Anyways, you can see that I have both of my guys here. I'm actually going to max this guy out to upgrade 11, even though it is pretty pricey. I think it's worth it just for that little extra passive where, let me see. Yeah, he gets that SPA and damage buff whenever the ability pops. I think that's worth it. So, this is the basic setup right now. We have two Alucards chilling in the back. I think this is the best spot to place your units. This little loop right here is where you can get like the most amount of time enemies walking on the map while you're still attacking them. You might be able to pull it off right here in this loop, but I honestly don't want to risk it. This is a lot safer. So now what is our next priority? Well, now I'm just going to start maxing out my Chozos to level 9. Max them all out to level 9 and don't get them to full AoE just yet, and you'll see why later. Also, you might be wondering why I don't place a third Alucard for full AoE, and that is because we are going to need him at the end of the run. Don't place a third Julius and don't place a third Alucard. Save these two. These two units are going to come in handy at the end of your run, towards the end of your run. So make sure you don't place all of them. There is a reason why I don't just plop everything down. But yeah, for now, we're chilling. Not much to worry about. Second boss is coming in, but we have enough DPS to kill him, so we shouldn't be too worried about that. This event is hard. Like, it took me a couple attempts, like 2 or 3 attempts with... At first, I tried using Vegeta. Vegeta's not that good for this game mode, I'm not gonna lie. I think you can still kill the boss using Vegeta in your team, but the thing about him is that normally, the way that I use Vegeta, I like to place him somewhere to deal a lot of DPS to the boss, and I like to sell him. That's just like my brain defaulting to tournament strategies. You can't really do that in this game mode, because you're not going to be able to sell units. In fact, I think it's already happening. Let's see. Can I not sell? Yeah, you see? Can't be sold. This unit can't be sold. No matter what I do, this guy is just permanently stuck right here. Which is why I placed him exactly in this spot. Because even though I can't sell him, I'm still going to get a lot of value out of him being right here. It is unfortunate that I can't sell him, but, you know, that just makes the game mode that much harder. Back to what I was saying, though. This game mode is incredibly hard. Like, this is the hardest boss event that we've ever had. Like, this makes Igris look like an... Oh, I accidentally got him to full AoE. Actually, it doesn't matter. Don't do what I just did, though. Keep him at upgrade 9. That was kind of stupid of me. I was, like, on autopilot. Anyways, as I was saying, this guy is pretty hard to kill if you don't know what you're doing. Alright, we're back. I try to keep everything in one cut, but my, like, recording software messed up a little bit. As I was saying... You're going to want bleed units no matter what. If you don't have Alucard, it's fine. Just make sure you get yourself a Chozo. Next attack that I'm going to disable is Cleaving Dash. And we're nearing the end of the run here. And you'll see exactly why we don't place our last Julius and our last Alucard. So, I'm going to make sure that I have all my units to upgrade 9. Perfect. So, now that you have all of your Chozos to upgrade 9, you're going to upgrade 2 of them to full AoE. Only 2 though. Don't upgrade the rest of them to full AoE. So just choose whatever 2 Chozos you want. I'm just going to choose a random one. Upgrade 2 of them to full AoE and leave the other 2 on upgrade 9. Also change their targeting to bosses for both of the Chozos that are still on upgrade 9. Your units with full AoE, the targeting doesn't matter because they're going to hit all the units anyway. But for your units that only have single target damage, which are the two Chozos, it is really, really important that you prioritize the boss, because he has a ton of health and every little bit of damage helps. Also, probably should have said this earlier, do not use your Alucard ability until the end of the run. If your Alucard ability is on cooldown, like right now I can use it. This is fine. I'm gonna have enough time. I'll pop it right now just to show you guys. It's fine. But like, if this ability is on cooldown by the time this guy is all the way over there, which he will be over there, you're cooked. The run's over. So make sure that your restraint 0 is off cooldown by the time that you need it. Because here's what's gonna happen. If you're running this solo, I don't know if you're doing it with a team, it might be different. But if you're doing this solo, you will never have enough damage to insta-kill him before he goes into his frenzy phase, or like his frenzy mode. What do I mean by that? Once this guy gets low enough, he's gonna go into like an enraged state, and he's gonna start running across the map. So he'll be like right here, right? Then he's gonna enter frenzy mode, and whereas you'd normally be able to kill him, he's just gonna outrun all of your units. He's gonna be right here, and then he's just gonna be walking towards the exit of the map, and then you die, and you don't want that. That's why I'm saying you have to save an Alucard and you have to save a Julius. These two units plus your restraint 0 ability are going to be your saving grace for actually killing this boss. So I might have used that ability a little too early, now that I think about it, because this is not coming off cooldown fast enough. Oopsies. I think I should still be fine though. Anyways, we have all of our units here attacking Sukuna. As you can see, he just got stunned. And what is my restraint 0 on? It's on a minute. Okay. I might have used that a tad bit too early or too late. I don't know. I think I should be good though. Fingers crossed. If this run messes up and I have to re-record this, I'm going to be a little pissed. Actually, I might not even re-record it. I just might cut to a segment of me actually beating it with the strategy, so you know it's not fake. But yeah, setup pretty basic. Early game, first 4 waves you're going to want to farm. Then you're going to do 4 Chozos in the spot that I placed them in, with a Julius for slows. Also, yeah, we're going to be fine. Never mind. We're good. This ability is going to be off cooldown by the time he gets over there. Just make sure you're doing what I'm doing and you should be fine. So he's getting lower and lower and lower. And you might think, oh, we got this in the bag. He's about to die, right? Because we're doing hella damage. And he still has a lot of track left to cover before he even gets close to the exit. Well, I thought that too. But that is where you're wrong. Look, he's about to get into the frenzy mode. And he is just going to dash across the map, not giving our units time to damage him. In fact, I think he's immune in this phase. He just doesn't take any damage outright. But that is completely fine. Wait for him to start walking normally like this. Boom. Pop the ability. Pop Alucard. Pop a Julius right here. And now we have killed Sukuna and soloed the boss event. Just like that. Just make sure you copy my strategy, because if you don't have that ability towards the end, you're cooked. Anyways, that is how you solo the new raid, or the new boss event, all by yourself. Now, I know that having Alucard in the strategy basically alienates like 80% of the people watching this video. I'm sorry. I just wanted to put out this video for anyone that does have Alucard and might be wondering how to solo it. But don't worry, I am 90% sure that you don't need Alucard to solo this. And I will put out a video of a strategy without Alucard as soon as I figure that out. But for now, I'm going to keep farming for Sukuna. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a great day or night wherever you are, and we'll catch you in the next one.